Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. This week I'm going to share with you great card ideas that you can make with one set of supplies from this month's kit. Today I'm sharing with you my second alternative card using the January 2024 Paper Pumpkin kit called Lovely Lavender. The projects from this kit are really beautiful. It creates a total of 8 greeting cards, 4 in 2 different designs. And it gives you the supplies to make 4 tags. If you would like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards, you can click on the playlist and I'll link it up here in the top right corner. The card that I'm sharing with you today uses the tag on a watercolor background that we're going to create together. It is both simple and elegant with the soft purple colors. If you are new to my channel and would like to continue to see all of my paper pumpkin alternatives, make sure to subscribe using the link in the bottom right corner. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you're interested in getting your own paper pumpkin subscription, please use the link in the description below to subscribe. To create this card, you're going to need the tag from the kit, and I would recommend securing this little dot to the inside. And so you can do that with just a little bit of tape. So go ahead and just press that over so that that little piece doesn't pop out. You'll also need the long rectangular label from the kit, the Love die cut, and the Lost Lagoon leaf die cut. From your own stash, you'll need some cardstock. I chose to use fresh Freesia, and I've got it for my card base. And then I also have it for a card front, which is just slightly smaller. It is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this is the piece that we're going to do our watercoloring on. So let's do that first. So I've got my wonderful glass mat here, and it does come with this fun silicone tray. And I like to use it for my watercoloring, but I do want to just mention that the gorgeous grape, along with maybe some of the other dark colors, will stain your white silicone. I haven't tried getting it off with any sort of cleaner. It doesn't really bother me, and I'm just going to keep it in this area anyway. So if it does bother you to have stained things like this, then you're going to want to use maybe a clear block because those don't stain. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some ink to my tray here. And then I'm just going to pick up a little water with my water brush here. So you could really use any paintbrush. This one has a wide tip that I like to use when I'm doing a large area for watercoloring. Before I add it to the ink, I am just going to add a light wash of clean water. Here, let me bring that water back into frame over my cardstock. And that's just going to kind of help the colors blend a little bit better. And so I get a softer look as well. So once I've done that, go ahead and get some water and add it to that beautiful, gorgeous grape. And then you can just brush it onto your cardstock. And if you take a close look, you'll see that the water is kind of bleeding a little bit, and that's because we've added the water first to our cardstock. If you don't do that step, then it's just going to soak right into your paper and you won't get this nice watercolor look. So make sure to do that step. You can smooth out the edges if you want. You can go in and add more color in different splotches to give it, darker areas, lighter areas, whatever you like and however you like that to look. Okay. So I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and just put that off to the side to dry, and we'll come back to it. I'm going to go ahead and clean my paintbrush in the water, and to kind of prevent it from staining too much, I am going to take this to the sink and just rinse this out. So while that is drying, let's go ahead and work on this greeting. We're going to do a couple things to this long rectangle tag. I'm going to first fishtail the ends to create a banner, and I like to do that by going in the center up just a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch or so, and then cutting from the corners to the top of that cut. So I will repeat that on the other side, just a small slit, corner to top. Just like that. So once I have that done, I am going to stamp the word you down in the bottom because I want it to say love you, and I'm getting you from this greeting here. So to do that, you're going to take your gorgeous grape and you're just going to use the corner to ink up you. So you kind of have to place it. So sometimes it's easier to actually see through the stamp. So just kind of place the stamp over the corner of that purple color so that you can just ink the area that you want to stamp. If you do get ink on any other areas, you can just wipe it off. And that's just going to go in the bottom right corner. It looks like I did get a little bit of ink right there, but that's just fine. It just looks like a little dot. No problem. So I'm going to go ahead and add love to that banner. You can use the glue dots that come in the kit, or you can just, use your favorite adhesive. I love the liquid glue. It's quick and easy to apply. I might have added it too high on that E. And you're just going to place it on the banner near your U so that it can say love you. So it's going to look something like this. Okay. So once that's all together, we can add it to our tag. I'm also going to use a little liquid glue for that. And it just needs to be added on the left side. We'll support the right side with the dimensional. Line it up with your grid paper so that you know that everything's nice and straight. And it does come off a little bit more on the right side than it does on the left. So make sure to maybe give it 1/4 of an inch or so on the left side, but then you can see here on the right side it comes off a little bit more, and we'll put a dimensional there. Next we're going to add our Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to just do a couple little dots of glue on the left branch because that's the branch that's going to be touching my tag. And I'm just going to lift that up a little bit and add it like that. Okay, so that tag is now ready for my background. I'm going to add it with dimensionals. And there were dimensionals that came in the kit, so you can go ahead and pop a couple on. Make sure to support the banner as well. Okay, so my paper is just a little bit damp, so I am going to have to hit it with a heat tool, but I want to distress the edge just a little bit before I do that. Okay, and then I'll just go heat it up a little bit. It shouldn't take me too long. So once that's dry, I do want to add some splatters. And you do have to be careful with these splatters because I'm going to use the craft ink, and they don't dry quite as quickly as the water-based ink. And so I'm going to put this onto my card base first, so that way I don't have to touch it once I splatter. So I've distressed my edges, rolled down some corners, and just going to put it right in the center of my card base. Oh, and then I'm going to add my tag. So it's going to look something like this. So the next step is to splatter some white craft paint. And I'm okay if it goes anywhere on my card, except for I don't want it on my U, because it's a small greeting and I could accidentally cover up the whole greeting with a large splatter. So I've just placed some washi tape over that. And I'm going to take my Whisper White Stampin' ink. It's an old bottle, and I'm just going to squeeze it into one of my squares. I'm going to just do it up here at the top, like in the middle, above the other one that I used. And I've got a paintbrush here, adding a little bit of water to make it kind of looser so that it can splatter nice and easily. And then I just like to tap it on my finger, and I'm going to try really hard not to have it be in any certain direction. Just kind of let it drop down onto the card. And I like to go from the left to the right side, because that's pleasing to me. But if you like to go a different way, that's fine, you can do that. So then I can carefully remove my washi tape. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and be really careful with those splatters and make sure that they dry before I touch them. But I did want to add one more thing to this card to really make it stand out. And that's to add some embellishments. And I really wanted to try these loose silver sequins. I used these inside my shaker card, which was my first alternative that I shared. And so I thought it would be fun to use them again. So I'm just going to carefully add a couple drops of glue, and just have to remember where you put them because they're kind of mixed in with your white splatters. And then I'm going to just take a little pinch of sequins, and with my take a pick tool, pick those up. And there's some different sizes, so you can kind of play around with that too. So I've just added 3 to the top left corner. I might add, a couple near my leaves. The sequins do have a little bit of like a bubble to them. So you do want to make sure that you're putting them on so that the bottom touches the cardstock. So keep that in mind if you're using the same product as me. And just be careful as you're working with the sequins not to actually touch your splatter marks. There's a couple in the leaves, and then I think I'll put 3 down here. What I like about these sequins is they're very kind of unassuming. You can like barely notice them. And my card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this beautiful card today. If you're interested in getting written instructions or seeing close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you would like to subscribe to get your own paper pumpkin kit, please use the link in the description box below to subscribe, and make sure to list me, Chelsey Christensen, in Colorado as your demonstrator. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.